Hello everyone, my name is Gregory Young. I'm the Caddo Parish Commissioner for District 2. I'm also the 2026 President of the Caddo Parish Commission. I was born here at our Confederate Memorial Hospital here in Shreveport, like many others in my generation. And I'm proud to say that the neighborhood I grew up in was called Bel Air Apartments. You know, we had a lot of fun. At the same time, we faced a lot of very challenging situations. And those experiences early in my life really informed me about how I wanted to move around in my life. And so I joined the military seeking broader opportunities. At 17, was stationed out in Fort Polk, Louisiana. And beyond that, I got out of the military at 20 years old and I went to work for the Postal Service. And I stayed with the Postal Service for the better part of 31 years. And during that time, I became postmaster. Several towns, I worked all over Louisiana. And of course, if I may add, I enjoyed the distinction of being the first African-American male to ever be a postmaster in Arklatex. And so I went on to try to encourage other people who looked like me and those people who didn't look like me but were really looking for opportunities to advance in their careers in the Postal Service. And so it's kind of an expression of my essence. I've spent the best part of my life in public service to try to put other people in winning conditions. Because like I said earlier, you know, I face a great deal of challenges and headwinds growing up. And so I have great empathy for those who have not had a lot of wins in their life. And so getting involved in politics and public service was like kind of a natural evolution for me. The first 2 years that I served on the commission, I was very honored to serve as the chair of economic development. And then of course, I was elected unanimously to be the president of the commission during this term, 2026. And I essentially put my name in the hat, so to speak, for that position because I felt that the initiatives that I brought to bear on the commission had a better chance of success if I was at the helm. And so I wanted to do whatever I could to try to make those things happen. Like many other families, I've been impacted by the exodus of some of the best and brightest from our community. Two of my younger sisters left this area at a very young age. I have one sister that's been gone better part of 40 years. Another sister that's been gone better part of 30 years. And so with that particular viewpoint, I saw three things that were really needed to happen in our community to reverse that trend. One of the biggest challenges that we faced in was, of course, the violence that permeated our community. So public safety was a big deal. I saw quality of life and economic development as the other two issues. Before this version of the Caddo Parish Commission came into office, we had employees that made, I would say, $12 and something an hour. So I felt like it was important to raise their standard of living. And so as a result, the least paid person that works for Caddo Parish makes $15.39 today. Another important initiative is that I worked with our prior attorney who's since retired. And we got together with our senator, Sam Jenkins, and we were able to have legislation passed in Louisiana to create a land bank that's designed to address much of the blight and raise our property values in Caddo Parish. You know, even in this climate of such division in Baton Rouge, there was not one Democrat or one Republican that voted against this initiative. And of course, we have our Rising Stars competition that's going to finalize on the 7th of June. I'm really looking forward to that because I believe we have some of the most talented people in the world right here in Caddo Parish. When you think about Dallas County, for instance, Dallas County came about almost 10 years after Caddo, and yet it's projected by 2050 they're going to have a population over there in the Dallas-Fort Worth area that's going to exceed 15 million people. Atlanta was burned to ruins during the Civil War, and yet it's one of the most important metropolitan areas in the country. We really have got to change our cultural priorities. We need to become more of a can-do community. I mean, what is the difference? The difference has to be that we're not challenged enough within ourselves. You know, oftentimes You know, we blame this, we blame that. But I can tell you my favorite t-shirt in my closet says crush excuses. You know, it must start with the person in the mirror. And so, you know, some of these initiatives, some of these efforts that are embedded within the Caddo Parish Commission, it is our hope that these initiatives will help cause people to think differently about the area that we live and we hope to grow in. I think that there's a recognition that we need to grow and we need to think differently. And that's the low-hanging fruit, is that we've come to this realization, I think, as a collective body. And I'm a firm believer that once you reach the bottom, that's a good time to rejoice, because you can't go nowhere but up. And so that's what I see. I see us being in a place where we have to essentially reach for the stars in hopes of touching the moon. And that's why I hope to help take the Caddo Parish Commission, because not only do we have leaders in the community now that are willing to work together to make that happen, but I believe that our community is ready for such a revolutionary change in how we think and how we progress along. Growing up as a kid in the inner city of Shreveport, I never imagined that I have this level of influence, and I would be put in a position to really make great things happen for my community. So I'm very thankful, very grateful to God for allowing me to be in this position, and I'm also thankful to my colleagues for putting so much trust in my abilities.